body. Okay. So this video is the history of one of my favorite finishing moves, the RKO. It's also known as the diamond cutter, and then I forget what the other name it was. But yeah, so let's get into it.
Whether you know it as the RKO, the Ace Crusher, the Twist of Fate, or the Diamond Cutter, there is no denying the cutter was perhaps the hottest wrestling move of the 90s and the 2000s. It's won countless championships and can be hit on anyone from anywhere. In this video, we're going to talk about where the move originated and how it became so popular to the point it still has so many variations to this day. The cutter in its simplest form is a 3/4 face-up bulldog. The initial concept of the move was suggested by Barry Windham in 1987. Windham believed that it would be a good finishing maneuver for Johnny Ace, with Windham describing the move as a front-face neckbreaker. Ace then began using the move regularly from 1988 and would refer to it as the Ace Crusher. Interestingly, the move initially started out looking almost identical to what would become the Stone Cold Stunner, as Johnny Ace would end with the move with a sit-out instead of landing on his back, which was how the move eventually evolved. Triple H would begin using the cutter in 1995 after joining the WWF. Hunter would only use this move briefly.
We talked about it, and I said, if you would, not do that again, bro, I would so appreciate it. And he's like, oh, don't worry about it, I'd never do it again. And he didn't. Triple H has been one of the most solid guys I've ever met in this business.
Leaving the cutter solely for DDP. Bobby the Brain Heenan would coin the term the Diamond Cutter to describe the move, and this name stuck.
I don't have a name for it. He said it's quick. It cuts like a diamond. He goes, Diamond Cutter. I went, awesome.
Going forward, the move would now be referred to as the cutter, unless it had otherwise had a specific name. It was DDP who would make the maneuver one of the hottest wrestling moves of the 90s. It really was. Johnny Ace had given him the blessing to use the move, which DDP paired with a cravat hold given to him by William Regal, and just like that, Page was off to the races.
When Johnny Ace gave me the Ace Crusher, no one had ever seen it. I made it my own.
And just like the arcade, it came out of nowhere a lot of the time. Like, he did that move so much, and it was so effective. I was a fan of it, even back then, even before Randy Orton started doing
it. He used to take it with one arm, and he would just make the peace sign and kick out. I used the cravat because Steven Regal taught me that.
It was DDP who popularized hitting the cutter from absolutely anywhere. This aspect of the move Dallas borrowed from Jake the Snake Roberts' DDT.
Then, out of nowhere, that just came from watching Jake Roberts.
The Diamond Cutter could truly be hit from so many different ways, whether it was from Page's shoulders, from the top turnbuckle, or coming off the ropes. By 1997, the Diamond Cutter was one of the most over moves in wrestling.
It really
was. DDP
was.
would use it to win a number of championships, while creating numerous classic moments.
Champion of the world, I can't believe it!
Just look at that crowd, with the Diamond Cutter signs in the air. The popularity of the Diamond Cutter led to a number of wrestlers from other promotions incorporating their own versions of the cutter into their movesets.
I still don't think anyone does it better than Randy Orton. Some of the ways he's done it over the years have just been insanity. Especially the Seth Rollins one. I think it was SummerSlam. Or was it WrestleMania? They were outside. It was nuts.
A diamond cutter! What the hell do you call that? A Bubba Cutter?
Whether it was Bubba Ray Dudley's Bubba Cutter, Spike Dudley's Acid Drop,
Acid Drop! Acid Drop!
Rhino Ortest TKO,
He's about to be! Oh!
Or the Hardy Boys' Twist of Fate.
I don't know. Look at this! Oh, twist of fate!
Still not the same.
The true effectiveness of the move was the fact that it could be hit on anyone from almost any angle. But the move was still to be brought to even greater heights. Johnny Ace was now working in a backstage role in WWE under his real name, John Laurinaitis. He would recommend the Ace Crusher as a finisher for a young up-and-coming Randy Orton. Orton would start using the move in 2003, calling it the RKO.
Of course, there was a Diamond Cutter.
Yep.
And of course, there was the Ace Crusher. Yep. So Laurinaitis and me, Laurinaitis had my back. And I was trying this move. I believe it was called the Overdrive. And it was hurting my shoulder a little bit, which had already been fixed up. And so Laurinaitis was like, hey man, do the Ace Crusher. So I said, okay, change it up a little bit. Holy thank you, Johnny, because now I got this thing I can hit anybody with from anywhere. There's no setup, there's no nothing, boom, and it just happens. We needed a name for this thing. My Randy Keith Orton are my initials, and I came up, I'm like, TKO, RKO, this KO, KO, like RKO, Vince, what do you think? And he just never skipped a beat, kept walking, didn't change his stride, said, I like it. And that was it. That was it. Next thing you know, it's RKO.
It's
RKO.
a thing.
Yeah.
Made a tag to Unico.
RKO! DDP was also happy with Orton using the move and even called Randy up to tell him this.
I called him. I told him I wanted them to use it.
The RKO helped Randy win championship after championship.
The RKO from nowhere.
It became so iconic because of its versatility. Orton continued to awe fans with all the new ways he would hit the move. It spawned so many viral videos as the RKO had become recognized globally, even outside of the wrestling world.
But I sold 60.
Those were so hilarious.
He's hit some of the best counters coming out of the RKO, whether it be from a choke slam, a springboard, a Faymaster, whether it's off the ladder, a shooting star press, or even off a curb stomp. Sometimes it even hypes Orton up so much that he has to do a jumping splits after it. It's perhaps the most anticipated move in wrestling right now, to the point where even the fake out gets a huge pop.
For Styles. There it is. Whoa. Pump fake.
It's still being reinvented and hit in ways we've never seen before.
Sammy's gonna have to.
That was nice.
This has made it one of the most famous wrestling moves of all time. But yet, no matter if you know it as the Ace Crusher, the Diamond Cutter, or the RKO, the move has truly stood the test of time and will always be a massive part of professional wrestling.
Oh my God! What in the world?
The variation I'm not okay with this is the Cody Cutter. Not a fan. Not a fan. But I mean, I don't get paid that much money to do moves, so who am I to say anything?
And that brings us to the end of this video. As always, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Also,
yeah, I'll link down below. Make sure you like Wrestling Flashback. Show them some love. That's it for this one. Like, subscribe, follow, share, whatever it is. Do it. Till next time. Peace.